Hey, Shalom. Kalalal, Yahweh Bahashem Yavashai. All praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Bahashem Rakah HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS that do rule well, that do teach well, that have taught me this truth to you. I say Shalom, and Shalom unto the hopeful elect. Lord willing, this will be edifying or thought-provoking in the spirit. So I just want to do a follow-up to the last video that I did back in April 16th, 2025. So I have it here. Trump will declare martial law on April 20th. And this was going into the whole blue and non-Democrats, how they were in full panic mode by Donald Trump's executive order that he passed back in January 20th, 2025, going into the border crisis. And that's what initiated all these ICE raids. So the blue and non-Democrats were saying, like, this is just a way for him to bring forth the Insurrection Act of 1807. And it's so he can stall time, meaning that he can halt the 2026 elections that are going to come up. So it's just a way for Donald Trump to maintain more power, or to keep his power. And that's what they were bringing out. But hey, it's looking like it might happen, man. He might bring out the Insurrection Act of 1807 because of what's going on down there in California, Los Angeles, with Issachar. And who knows if these are... I'm going to just say this, because when you look at the footage and you look at the pictures, we don't even know if this guy's American, man. Why is he holding a Mexican flag? It looks like an insurrection. So why is he doing all this? We don't know if the cartel is working with these people. We don't know what's going on. But yes, it does look like an insurrection. It really does. From the photos and from the footage, it really does. Illegals and rioters destroyed police cruiser and injured law enforcement officers. So, hey, he could enforce the Insurrection Act of 1807. Who knows? So this is just going to be a follow-up to that. Breaking update: 700 U.S. Marines to be deployed to downtown Los Angeles in response to violent anti-ICE riots. This was posted yesterday, June 9th, 2025. So Donald Trump is moving hard. But then here it is. You have Gavin Newsom, which is the governor of California, the 40th governor, that is. He said that we are suing Donald Trump. So the state of California is suing Donald Trump because he's saying that this is a manufactured crisis, right? So here's his statement. This is a manufactured crisis. He's creating fear and terror to take over a state militia and violate the U.S. Constitution. The legal order he signed could allow him to send the military into any state he wishes. And yeah, that goes back to what? The Insurrection Act. If you read it right here, the deployment of the full Marine Battalion marks a significant escalation in Trump's use of the military as a show of force against protesters. But it is still unclear what their task will be once in LA. The sources said, like the National Guard troops, they are prohibited from conducting law enforcement activity like making arrests unless Trump invokes the Insurrection Act. One of the people familiar with the Marine mobilization said they will be augmenting the Guard presence on the ground in LA. The violent riots in Los Angeles escalated over the weekend in response to ICE raids. Anti-ICE rioters set Waymo self-driving cars on fire on Sunday. So we can just watch the clips. And this reminds me of Judah, man. How when you go into Genesis, the 49th chapter, it says, the scepter shall not depart. And also it says, Judah is a lion's whelp. Who shall rouse him up? And that scepter that's in Judah's hand just simply means that he is a ruler, and also he is the leader. And all these tribes follow after Judah. This is no different on how Judah was acting back in the day, especially during the Rodney King riots, right? So you Issacharites are following the same path as Judah, you're acting the exact same way. And you guys are getting a wake-up call. This is your wake-up call, just showing you that the so-called white man doesn't love you, and that you're not white. You're not equal to him. Right? You're just like the niggas. You're just like the niggas, and you look down on your brothers. And vice versa, your brothers look down on you too. But we're actually one family, and you have the curses on you, and that's why you're being treated this way. Now let me get that precept, man. This is Genesis chapter 49, verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. And you know who that starts with? That starts with Yahushai. How the scepter shall not depart, because Yahushai is the King of Kings. He's over the nation of Israel. All things were created by him and for him. That includes us. That includes us. We're his people. And also the scripture says we all sprung out of the waters of Judah. So we're all technically Judites in the spirit. We technically are, right? But we do come out of different tribes. If you're spiritual, you'll see that. Now it says, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. That's right. He's the trendsetter. He's the leader. Everybody follows after Judah. And rightfully so. And that's how it looks over here, man. Which we're going to play the clips. Now let me get Genesis 49 verse 9. It says, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Yeah, he was a young lion back then. Going back into the civil rights era. And going into the 70s with the whole black power movement. Black Panthers. You had all these leaders. They came out of Judah. And they were pretty rowdy, man. They got violent if you came there. They were all about rocking the fro and showing their so-called blackness. But you don't see that anymore, because now he's become an old lion. He went back to sleep. Now who shall rouse him up? And that's going to happen in these last days with Judah. But I'm just doing a comparison here. You can see that because now Issachar is getting roused up a bit. They're getting rowdy. And wait till the tribes unite. Because I believe it says Jacob shall be, a flame? No, Jacob shall be a fire, and Ephraim or Joseph should be a flame. That's in the book of Obadiah. I have it right here. And that's going to take place in the future. But when the tribes come together, man, they're unstoppable. That's what I really want to bring out. That's what I'm trying to focus on. You got Judah, the southern kingdom. They can turn up and get hot, and so could Joseph, Ephraim. They can get hot, and that's what's going to happen ultimately during the end of this kingdom and going into the kingdom of heaven when we get on you other nations, man. So this is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 17. It says, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. That's right. We're going to possess you nations, man. And we're going to have lands. We're going to have families. We're going to have wives. We're going to have riches. And we're going to be in rulership. We're going to be monarchs and priests. Verse 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. Yeah, because Esau devoured us. He devoured the tribes, going into hardcore slavery and also stealing our lands, calling us a proverb and a byword. He did so much wicked and evil things towards the tribes. So he's going to get his comeuppance. He's going to receive that comeuppance. He's going to get payback. We're going to get payback. And that's how the Lord wants it. So, yeah, and the house of Esau is going to be stubble. You're going to be devoured. You're going to be destroyed. You're going to go into slavery for 1,000 years, and after that you're going to be eradicated. That's how the Lord set it up in the spirit. All right, so let's just play some of the clips here. One moment. that's one. Another police cruiser has been smashed to bits. Riots are now on virtually every other block. The whole city is erupting in chaos. There you go. That's a small little clip. Got another one. Protesters are throwing bricks at moving police vehicles again. There you have it, man. Ishakar. Now I got another precept here. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. This is going into civil unrest and also martial law, and that's what could take place ultimately. And it's looking like Trump might do it. He might be the guy to do it. Remember, we saw this back in April 14th, 2025, about how he will declare martial law on April 20th. That was a rumor going around, and you know, this guy might do it, and he might do it now here, right? He might do it. He's not playing. He's not playing. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And on a small level, that's what you see Ishakar doing. They don't regard their kings. They don't regard the rulers. They don't care about the police. They don't care about Donald Trump. They don't care about the National Guard. They don't care about the Marines. They're going to fight for what they believe in. And ultimately, that's what's going to happen at the very end when this place is going out. They're going to have martial law, civil unrest. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. And that's what it's going to boil down to at the very end. But hey, this is a sign of civil unrest going into the Insurrection Act. So this was just a little follow-up. I hope this was edifying. Till next time, just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of GMS. To you I say Shalom, and Shalom unto the hopeful elect.